All right, we're at 530 Dover, and I'm starting by showing you the front incoming water area. And so it's an older gate valve. It seems like it's functioning. This is what's controlling the irrigation to shut off. And this hose bib is functioning fine. The problems that I see here is this right here. I'm going to zoom in on this. This piping's all corroded coming out of here. And so that's how the actual piping looks itself. And so it's getting ready to leak at any time. It wouldn't surprise me if it is seeped out slightly and then sealed itself back up with how it looks. And then underneath this foam piece right here, you'll see that that's in just as bad a shape. And so how this is, what I would recommend doing is just redoing this whole area. We should have enough room to cut the pipe here so that we could just rebuild it. And since we're doing that anyways, it would be a good idea to just update this to a ball valve shutoff, and then we could also update this to a ball valve shutoff, and then everything here up would all be done in copper, and then we'd attach back onto that PVC that's right there. And then that would eliminate these two leaks, and it updates some extra stuff that needed to be done anyways when we're repairing that. All right. And so that's all I found out here. All right, so we're in the kitchen area now. This is a little bit stiff when you move this guy back and forth, but other than that, everything's functioning fine with the faucet. The sprayer works as well. When the dishwasher drains, it does leak a little bit of water out of here. And when I looked a little bit closer, I seen, it's kind of dark in here, so it's hard to see, but the drain line right there that comes from that, when they installed it, right here, they kinked the line. So we need to reinstall this so it doesn't have that kink in it, and it should make it to where it drains better without any water coming out of there. And then underneath here, the drain lines are plumbed well, all on ABS. I didn't see any leaks on any of those. The disposal was functioning, didn't see any leaks. All the shutoffs work good. That's the ice maker line. That's a 1/4 inch copper line that runs under the floor and then stubs up behind the fridge. It's better to do that and steel braided if you're going to do it this way, but the best way to do it is to put an in-wall box with a shutoff. And then down here for the shutoff going over to the dishwasher, that one's seized. I couldn't get that to turn. And that's it for the kitchen area. We're here in the hall bathroom. Everything's functioning good here. I can see a small leak there. It's a small leak, but that's no big deal. It's some sort of special shower head. I'm sure whoever's moving in will probably put on a new shower head, which will then solve that issue. And then everything else from what I can see on the up top here was functioning fine and smooth with the tub in the shower. The toilet's functioning good, and the shutoff behind it works. The pop-up for this side doesn't control it well. I ended up having to go down there and put it on by hand. We could possibly get that reattached so it's all secure and functions fine. We just have to attempt it. And everything's draining on this sink. Underneath, both of these shutoffs are all seized. I can't get either one of them to turn, but I didn't find any other leaks besides that. On this side, this sink is draining, but extremely slowly. It's clogged right now. The level has gone down since I've gone around and done inspecting on things, but just extremely slow. So it'd be a good idea to clear that guy out. And then these shutoffs have been updated, but they're also seized. But with updated ball valve shutoffs like these are, we may be able to turn these things and exercise them and getting them function again. And I didn't see any leaks. The main problem I've seen on this one is that sink's clogged. Alright, that completes the hall bath. We're here in the master bedroom now. Everything was functioning good in here. No leaks. This one works just as smooth as the other one. Toilet's functioning fine. Shutoff looks good behind that one. These shutoffs are a little bit difficult to turn, but they did turn, and I don't see any leaks dripping from any piping here. The only problem that I found in this bathroom is that this sink drains a little bit slow. It's not quite as bad as the other one, but it should be able to just keep up with steady flow of water. And when you turn it off, it should drain a lot faster than that. And so that's probably just something in this area that needs to be cleaned out. And then that's it for the master bedroom. Everything looked good in here other than that sink drainage slow. So we're in the laundry room right now, which is located in the garage. These shutoffs have been updated. They look almost brand new and they function all nice and smooth, nothing leaks. And so I'm assuming these got updated recently. This faucet is older looking, but it still functions all smooth and turns off. Drain piping for these areas is done in full ABS pipe and it all looks good. I didn't see any leaks from anything. And so this area is all nice. There's nothing really needs to be offered here. Like I said, that faucet looks old, but it's functioning perfectly fine. And then the water heater is located right next to this area. And so this water heater is from 2013, which means it's 13 years old. But it still functions. Everything is installed up to code. Looks like when they did update it 13 years ago, they put on a new ball valve, which is a good thing. Everything's connected properly here. Temperature pressure relief is going to outside. Pan line is going down to the garage floor, which it should go outside only because the sheetrock's here. But if this sheetrock wasn't here and it's on that stand, it's up to code to be on the garage floor. I think they just built this little container to kind of make the water heater less visible to the rest of the garage. And then it's got straps where it needs to, and it's completely bonded. It's got a drip leg. Everything is installed up to code on this unit. And so the only negative I see with it is that it's 13 years old. Average life of water heater is about 8 to 12 years. But from everything I could see externally and it being hot water at the house, it seems like it's still functioning fine. All right, so there's 3 different hose bibs outside of the home in the backyard. They all leak out of the top, and so this one's right outside the garage. So when it's operating, it's leaking out of the handle there. It'd be best to update that hose bib. I'm gonna bring you over to the other one. This one's on the other side of the house, near the condenser. And so it also has a little leak out of the handle when you operate it. Not quite as bad as the other one, but it's leaking nevertheless. And then the last one is on the deck area. So this is the hose bib outside of the master bedroom on the deck area. It also leaks out of the handle real bad when you turn it on. This is the shutoff going to the irrigation. This guy doesn't move very well, so I'm assuming it's seized. And it doesn't need to be this style. We could always put in a regular shutoff because this goes to anti-siphon valves that are right here. Going to a couple sprinklers, it looks like, and a few drip lines. From what I could tell on this, it's not leaking. And judging by the healthiness of all the yards, I would say that it's functioning well. Just needs a new shutoff. If you ever have a leak here or on this pipe leading up to it, you got to be able to control it from here to be able to turn it off. And then in the process of that, we could do this a little better. I don't like when you mix plastic on here when you could have did it in brass or copper. And so we'd be updating this area anyways to add the shutoff, so that wouldn't be a bad thing. And then that's everything for the house area. The next part will be the under house inspection, and then we're also going to do the sewer inspection.